Linda, a 55-year-old hardworking woman, had spent her entire life building stability for her 10-year-old daughter, Mia. They lived in a small rented house on the edge of town. A house that wasn't fancy, but it held their memories, their laughter, and their tiny little dreams. Every morning before sunrise, Linda would wake up, prepare Mia's breakfast, pack her school bag, and then rush toward her first job at the school cafeteria. She always carried a warm smile for the students, even when her body felt exhausted. After finishing her cafeteria shift, she would walk across 3 streets to reach the local laundry shop, where she worked until late evening, folding clothes, dealing with steam irons, and sorting endless baskets of laundry. Despite the long hours, she never complained. Linda believed that as long as she stayed strong, Mia would feel secure. But life doesn't always reward hard work immediately. Even with 2 jobs, the monthly rent was difficult to manage because unexpected expenses, medicine, school supplies, or transportation would often arise. Linda managed every month somehow, but it was always a struggle. One particular month, everything changed when Linda suddenly fell ill with a fever and severe fatigue. She tried to keep working, but her boss insisted she rest for a few days. Those few days without work meant she couldn't earn the full amount required to pay rent. She kept checking her small envelope of savings every night, counting the money again and again, hoping it would somehow increase. But it didn't. Mia, young but observant, noticed her mother's quiet stress. She often saw Linda staring at the calendar, calculating days, whispering small prayers under her breath. But when Mia asked, "Mom, is everything okay?" Linda always smiled gently, hiding her fear. "Everything will be fine, sweetheart," she would say, brushing Mia's hair softly. Linda's only goal was to protect her daughter from the weight of adult problems. Still, as the rent deadline approached, Linda's worry grew heavier. She knew the landlord wasn't a patient man, and the thought of losing their home terrified her. But she stayed strong on the outside, because mothers often carry storms inside their hearts while showing sunshine to their children. The day Linda had feared finally arrived. The landlord knocked on the door in the afternoon, holding a stern expression and a folded paper in his hand. Without even greeting her, he said sharply, "If the rent is not paid today, you must leave the house by tomorrow morning." His voice was cold, showing no hint of mercy. Linda swallowed her pain and replied politely, "Sir, please give me just 3 more days. I have never delayed rent before. I promise I will pay everything." But the landlord shook his head. "Rules are rules. I cannot wait," he said before turning away. Linda closed the door quietly and leaned against it for a moment, feeling the strength drain from her body. Her home, the place she had tried so hard to protect, was slipping away. That evening, when Mia returned from school happily telling her mother about her day, Linda forced a smile and listened carefully, hiding her heartbreak behind gentle eyes. She didn't want to disturb Mia's innocence with the weight of their troubles. But when night came, Linda finally had to make a painful decision. After Mia fell asleep, Linda began packing their belongings. She folded their clothes slowly, touching each item with memories attached to them. She carefully wrapped Mia's small drawing books, her school trophies, and the old family photo that always hung by the window. Every item felt like a piece of their life being uprooted. The soft rustling of bags woke Mia up. Rubbing her eyes, she asked in a confused voice, "Mom, why are we leaving our home?" Linda paused. Her heart clenched. She knelt beside Mia and held her close. With a trembling smile, she whispered, "Sweetheart, a home is not just walls. A home is where we stay together, and as long as we have each other, we still have a home." Mia nodded slowly, trusting every word her mother said, even though she didn't fully understand. That night, they stepped out of their house for the last time. The street was quiet and cold, and the sky felt heavier than usual. Linda looked back at the little house knowing it had seen both their joys and struggles. But she reminded herself that she had to stay strong for Mia, for their future. Holding her daughter's hand tightly, Linda walked forward, hoping the next door life opened would be kinder. With no place to go, Linda and Mia spent the night in a community shelter. The shelter was not comfortable. Metal frames held thin mattresses, and the walls were dull with chipped paint. The air felt cold, and the blankets were too thin to block the chill. Linda tried to keep Mia warm, wrapping her arms around her, but she herself shivered constantly. Seeing her mother suffer, Mia quietly took off her small jacket and wrapped it around Linda, saying softly, "Mom, you need it more than me." Linda's eyes filled with tears. How could a 10-year-old child carry such kindness? She hugged Mia tightly, realizing that even if life had taken their home, it had given her the greatest treasure, her daughter's love. The next morning brought unexpected hope. A charity organization visited the shelter, offering assistance to families in need. When Linda explained her situation, the volunteers listened with empathy. They appreciated her dedication and the fact that she had always worked hard to support her daughter. One of the volunteers said, "We can help you get a temporary apartment, and we also know a place that is hiring full-time workers." Linda's eyes widened in disbelief. She felt like a ray of sunlight had broken through her dark clouds. By afternoon, they were taken to a small but clean apartment. It wasn't perfect, but it was theirs, for now, and it felt like a fresh start. Linda signed the temporary housing papers with shaky hands, overwhelmed with gratitude. Mia explored the little space excitedly, running her fingers along the windowsill and opening every cupboard as if she had discovered a treasure chest. "Mom, look, we have a kitchen and a window that gets sunlight," she exclaimed. Linda laughed softly, the first real laugh she had felt in days. A few days later, Linda went for the job interview arranged by the charity team. The manager admired her work ethic and hired her immediately. The new job offered better pay and stable hours, something Linda had never had before. Every morning, Linda would wake up with renewed strength. She cooked breakfast for Mia, walked her to school, and then headed to work. In the evenings, they sat together and talked about their day. Slowly, life began to rise again. Linda realized that sometimes life pushes us down just to show us how strong we can be when we stand up again. In the weeks that followed, Linda often held Mia's hand as they walked to the nearby park or school. She would say softly, "We may have fallen, but we didn't stop. We kept going." And Mia, with her bright smile and hopeful spirit, would reply, "Mom, one day I will give you a home that no one can take away from us." Those words gave Linda strength every single day. They reminded her that hope was something no landlord could evict and no storm could steal. The temporary apartment slowly began to feel like a real home, not because of furniture or decorations, but because of the love and peace they shared. Linda placed Mia's drawings on the walls, cooked simple meals with joy, and filled the rooms with laughter whenever she got the chance. On weekends, they cleaned the house together, listened to music, and sometimes watched old movies on a small borrowed TV. Each day, they built small moments of happiness. Linda's job slowly helped her save money, something she had never been able to do before. She started putting aside small amounts every week, dreaming of the day she could rent a permanent house again. Mia also worked hard in school, motivated by the struggles she had witnessed. Her teachers praised her kindness and maturity. One evening, when Linda saw Mia studying with full dedication, she felt a deep warmth in her heart. "You are my pride, Mia," she said. Mia hugged her mother tightly. "And you are my hero," she replied. Months passed and Linda grew stronger, not just financially, but emotionally too. She learned that hardships could break walls, but they could also build character. She realized that life's storms, no matter how harsh, could be survived with courage and the support of loved ones. Sometimes, while folding clothes or preparing dinner, Linda would look around the apartment and remember the night they lost their old home. But instead of sadness, she now felt gratitude. That moment had led them to a new beginning. Together, Linda and Mia understood a powerful truth. A real home is not made of bricks or rent agreements. A real home is made of hope, courage, and the people who stand with you, no matter how difficult life becomes. And with that understanding, they walked forward, hand in hand, ready to build a future that no one could ever take away from them. Did this story touch your heart? Which city are you listening from? Tell me in the comments. If you enjoy stories like this, make sure to subscribe and support the channel. Thank you so much for your sweet support.